Hi, everybody. Mr. Schmidt here again. I just wanted to go through the culminating task with you. A couple of reminders, I guess. A reminder that there are a couple of assignments that should be done for Unit 4 as well, which have to do with the podcast and ethos and pathos. So make sure you're getting those done. Also, a reminder that, again, this Friday is the supposed due date for all assignments. If you cannot get everything done for them, you do not need to panic. I will be accepting everything on Monday. My marks are not due before that, so you'll have the entire weekend. And if you are far behind and you feel like you are out of control, you should contact me and say, "Sir, I don't know what to focus on." My first suggestion, if you're behind and you have, let's say, like 7 outstanding assignments, is the culminating activities are what matters. The hard part about that is that the novel study is a process. And if you haven't followed through with the process and done the thesis writing and resubmitted several times, there's a good chance that your essay will not be or will not meet the success criteria that I'm looking for, simply because you haven't gone through that process. That said, those are the assignments. Unit 1, Unit 3, Unit 4, culminating are all worth more. Okay, so remember that the culminating task is worth 20% of your final. The annotated bibliography that it's based on is worth 10% of your final. So by the time you get to this part, the culminating task, you should have already done the annotated bibliography and submitted it. So what you're doing now is creating a presentation of this anthology. Um, So their suggestion in this, remember this is activity 3. If you go back to activity 2, they want you to post in the discussion. You should do that. At this point in the course, I guarantee you're not going to get a lot of feedback that's timely. Post it anyways. Comment on your peers when you can. Probably most people won't have a chance to incorporate the feedback from their peers, but it's still a small portion of your mark, and you should do that. Don't worry, I'm very sensitive to the time constraints and the realities of this course. The exemplar, they're suggesting that you use the following tools for the digital portfolio. I can tell you from the past, there are many ways to do this and to make it, it depends on what your strengths are. If you are into design and you're good at designing things, then use your tool of preference. Most students who have had no experience before have used Weebly quite successfully, and it looks pretty good. And remember that the idea of an anthology is you kind of have this home page, and you have everything laid out, and then your reader can click on each. This should be presented nicely based on some of the effective design criteria that was established in Unit 1, and then it talks about stylistic choices being carried out. Ask you what elements do you think are effective. And then for your anthology, since you've already done the 5 entries, remember that all of this needs to be checked off. I've chosen fonts and colors that are easy to read. So this is effective design. I've chosen images and design elements. So this whole first part, my anthology has a homepage or a title. I've included, okay, so that's all effective design ideas. Then down here, this is the actual criteria. My anthology, I've included an analysis for 2 of my anthology selections. I believe in another video I said 3. Just 2 is fine. Just follow the success criteria in here. You can't go wrong following the success criteria. One of the analysis is a video or a podcast. So either audio or visual. If you want to do more than that, if you want to do a video and a podcast, go for it. I'm totally happy. You can be creative within there, but at least one of them has to have one of those elements. I've included a short annotation for the excerpts that don't have full analysis. So you should link everything. In all 5 of your entries should have a link. When I use an excerpt from a text instead of a full text, I include a link so my reader can access the full text. That makes sense, right? If you have an internet source, I can go and I can look at the original. And then it says it's easy to navigate through my anthology. Okay. And then, of course, besides the success criteria, you should always also access the rubric because it tells you exactly what we're looking at. So if you don't have one of these, use the anthology with a high degree of effectiveness and you get a 1 on it, you're not going to do well. So make sure you read through all of these expectations and clarify them with me. I'm running out of time. Bye.